Hi, good afternoon everybody, welcome along. Today is Friday the 18th of September 2020. This is our 4pm movement slot, so our movement snack at 4pm, our third snack of the day and our third opportunity to add additional movement minutes into our day, which is what it's all about. Now, if you're on catch up and this isn't the one that you want, then go and find the one you do want on our Facebook group. They're all there and we'll see you on catch up a little bit later on. Drop us a little comment though, let us know that you've been. It's always good to know that you've been in and you've seen the snack, had a look. Let us have your feedback, let us know how things are doing for you, how your mojo is, all those sorts of things. It's always good to know. So that's our catch up, people. The great thing about catch up is you can watch it a bit like Martini, anytime, anywhere, any place. You can watch it, you know, straight after. You can watch it a couple of hours after. You may even be watching it the next day. I know Dee a lot of the time watches it late on into the evening when it's sort of morning time for you guys over there. So just drop us a little line, let us know. Now, I'm going to leave you in peace. I'm going to try and catch up with the live participants now. So if you're coming in live, let us know that you're here. Say hello. Drop us a little comment. I can see we've got one person in so far. So let us know who it is. Give us a little line, a little one-liner. Hello, my name is, that sort of thing. You know, Slim Shady, whatever you want to be. Today you can be whoever you want to be. And join us for our movement snack. So this is, you know, it's all about adding additional movement into our day. That's what it's all about. Just waiting for people to come online and join me. Let me just check we're not on. Yeah, we're still on 5G, so we shouldn't get any interruptions with internet problems. Seems to have been a lot of them going around lately. A lot of internet problems. So you should get a good signal, no buffering from my end. You certainly won't get any problems from my end. Hopefully everything is all right your end as well. Drop me a little comment. Let me know you're here though. I know I think Bex had problems with comments this morning. They weren't showing for some reason. I think Kelsey was all right at lunchtime. But I know that Bex had a few problems with comments not coming up on her screen. So drop me a hello. Let me know you're here so I can check that my comments are working. Otherwise, I'll just carry on talking to myself. Sunny day here today. It's been a beautiful day today. Nice and sunny here in Coventry. What it's going to do for the weekend, I do not know. I think they're talking about rain possibly for the weekend. So hopefully they've got that wrong because we don't want rain, do we? Not the weekend. It's the weekend. We want a bit of sun. Plus we've got the granddaughter stopping with us at the moment, so it'd be great if we did get some nice weather so we can spend a bit of time outside. That's it really. Bit of a strange day for me today. Had a bit of stuff going on all over the place. I seem to have too many, well, not too many fingers in too many pies, but I seem to have lots of balls in the air at the moment and trying desperately not to drop any of them. I'm sure we've all had that from time to time, haven't we? Say hi, let me know you're here. I can see we've got one person so far. Hopefully we're going to get a few more people coming on board. Otherwise it's just me and you, and I can't quite make out who that is. I can see one little icon's popped up, but I can't quite make out who it is. So say hello to me. Let me know you're here. Let me know. I think that's Vivian who's just popped up. So say hi, Vivian, if that's you. Always good to know that people are in. This is our Friday sway and stretch. Our last one of the working week for a lot of people. One day seems to merge into another at the moment, though, doesn't it? I think for many of us. So possibly just another day for some of us. But say hi. Let me know you're here. I'm keeping an eye on the time. I'll get ready to go at 4 o'clock. I'll just try to see if my comments come back up. Yeah, no, I've got no comments coming up. So drop me a little hello. Let me know. If you were around earlier on, you may have seen my twin brother who popped up unceremoniously on Make Movement Your Mission. well, he shouldn't have done. He was meant to be somewhere else. That's the sort of day I've had today. So hopefully it's going to go better this time. This is our Friday afternoon mission of movement, our 4 p.m, our sway and our stretch. We're fast approaching 4 o'clock. I'll keep an eye on that time, and I'll just go with it on the assumption that comments aren't working. A few more people starting to come in now. So say hi. Let me know you're here. Hopefully I haven't got a problem with comments popping up. So if you have posted a comment I haven't replied to you, I do apologise. I haven't got anything coming up on my screen this end. So bear with me while I just chunter away to myself. Okay, look, we are at 4 o'clock. So let's get ourselves going with our 3, 2, 1. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dave Montgomery from Later Life Training. Today is Friday, the 18th of September 2020. This is our 4 p.m. movement snack, our third opportunity of the day to add additional movement minutes into our day. Over and above everything we're doing, we do our mobility work first thing in the morning, and I know that is really, really popular with everybody, which is great. And circulation boosting and mobilizing is a wonderful thing to do as many times as you can during the day. We have our strength and balance work at lunchtime, which was with Kelsey this week, and then our sway and a stretch to finish off our movement mission for the day. So this is our sway and our stretch. It's all about three-dimensional movements and functional movements that we do in everyday life, but practicing them for the brain's purpose, really. So allowing the brain to practice the movements of where our supporting parts are, where our moving parts are, how the muscles are working together to allow that movement to happen. Let's get ourselves prepared then. As always, we're going to start with a circulation booster, but before that, we'll set our posture in and set ourselves tall in our active standing or seated position. So in our standing position, we have our heels in line with our hips and our knees. We're going to lift tall. Imagine a balloon between your ribs and your hips. Give it a couple of extra puffs of air in there and separate these ribs from these hips, lifting a little bit taller. Our shoulders are going to come up, shoulder blades together, and we press down at the back to lengthen and open this chest. Sitting and standing tall, lifting our head so we've got a length within our neck as well. In our seated position, then the first thing we're going to do is come from the back of the chair to the front with a hip walk. Again, set our posture there. So sit tall onto your buttocks. Lift a little bit onto your buttocks firstly. Grow between your ribs and your hips, lifting the shoulders up, back, and pressing down. So you're going to put the shoulder blades into your back pockets. And from there, let's start with our circulation booster. Now, our circulation booster, as you know, is all about switching the body on, getting it ready to go. So about a minute or a couple of minutes of rhythmic movements. We're going to start from the bottom and work our way up to the top, taking it to a march if you feel that is the right thing for you. And with our march, we're peeling the ball of the foot off after the heel and then peeling the toe off as well to place them back down in the reverse order. So the toe comes down first, then the ball of the foot, and then through to our heel. In our standing position, then we can see that movement a bit more clearly. Here's our foot peeling off, and then we have the toes coming back down onto the floor, the ball of the foot, and then through to our heels. Bringing into our arms, we're going to swing the arm from our shoulders, focusing on the drive of the elbow backwards. So we're really focusing into that movement with the arm coming back to mobilise through our shoulder. In our standing position, if we're utilising support, have a pause every now and again. As many steps turning into your support as you need to change to the other side, and then bring it in. If you feel steady and stable in standing, then let's go with both arms. And exactly the same in our seated position. Another alternative for you is to bring the hands together at the front and this canoeing type motion. If you have a look from the side, you can still see the drive and the focus is onto that elbow coming backwards. So we're mobilising through that shoulder. So we're opening the arches, we're getting the blood pumping around the body, we're warming the muscles, we're loosening the joints, we're warming the joints. So we're ready for our sway and for our stretch to follow. Minute or a couple of minutes of that, and we should feel as though we need to take a couple of deep breaths. And a great thing to do if you've been sat down for a while is give yourself a little circulation booster. Right, let's move on to our sway segment then. So a couple of times I haven't been here with you during the week, and Bex has very kindly carried on with you. So where we are at the moment, we have our knee bend with our arms floating up, bringing the arms in towards us as we float back down. Yeah, so it's this motion here. A little knee bend, we float the arms up, fingers down towards the floor, bringing it back in towards the body so we engage the shoulders, and then coming back down to go again. Now your knee bend is a very small knee bend. Notice that the back is straight and we're sticking the bottom out a little bit. It's not a full-blown squat. We're not coming down into a seated position like our sit to stand. In our seated position, then what we can do is, rather than that knee bend, lift up onto our toes. So our movement now is the float of the arm up, in towards us, and float down. At the same time as the float up, we're lifting onto the ball of our foot. And if you want to, with this movement here, then you have the option. You can slide the hands along the thigh towards your knees and then float up from there to add a little bit of additional movement into that in our seated position. Our second part of the movement was to take our feet out, 1 foot at a time, diagonally. So the movement starts with a tap of the toe in, and then a forward step diagonally, bringing the heel down. We have a shift of the weight onto the back foot, a shift of the weight onto the front foot, onto the back foot, to the front, and then as we come back in, we have a step back in, toe and heel. And then we would do it on the other side. The arms that go with that, firstly, a sphere. So we have a ball, and this is where the first part of that stretch, that shift of weight, comes back in. So we've stepped out and we've set ourselves into this back position here. Push the sphere away, as keeping your hands separated, and then resist against it. So how our palms flat on, shifting the weight back, push forward again, shifting the weight onto the front foot, and then resist against it again, and as you come back in, step back in, toe heel, and bring the arms down. Now, imagine you're actually pushing against something. So as you push forward, feel the tension in the body as you push forward. Feel the tension across the chest and across the shoulders as you drive in. And then as you come back in, feel the tension into your chest as you bring that back in towards you. In our seated position, we have exactly the same. However, we're bringing ourselves up onto our toes firstly. So the second time we bring ourselves up onto the toe, we keep the foot that is going to step out lifted. From there, we can take that diagonal movement, heel toe, small step to the front there, and the shift of weight is on our buttocks. So again, we've got our sphere, we're pushing it away and we're resisting against it, but we're utilising the shift of weight across our buttocks, okay? And again, feel that resistance, right? So let's run through that once each side, and then we will add another part in as well. So we have a knee bend and a float of the arms up. They come in towards us and we take them down. Again, and feel the movement. As you bring this one in, step onto your toe, and then step away with your heel. Here's the shift weight back with the sphere. Push away, shifting the weight onto the front, and then resist against. Now have a look at the feet. So as we shift the weight, we don't take the knee outside of the foot. We step back in and we reset. We go on the other side. So this movement here, slow and controlled, bringing the shoulders into action as well as we float in. And the hands are stepping out. We step out, and here's our first shift of weight onto the back foot. We push away and we resist. There's your shift of weight again, and the knees stay within the parameter of our shoes, coming back in and resetting. Last part of that move. What we're going to do from there is we're going to push down. Now here, feet stay where we brought them back into after we've stepped back in. We have a trunk rotation and a push down, and then a pull back up in towards your chest, and a push down and a pull back in towards you, bringing the elbows back. Okay, in our seated position, Then again, we've come back in, we've reset here, and we're going to push down with a hinge from the hip and a slight rotation, and then pull back up in towards you, pushing down and pulling back up. So imagine closing your suitcase, yeah, getting yourself ready for holidays when we're ready to go on holidays again, pushing that down to make sure we've got all the stuff we need for our holiday in there, and then lift that suitcase up as if we're going to put it onto the bed. Okay, so there's our movement. So let's add it all together again now. So our final part, remember, is a slight trunk rotation, the push down and the pull up twice. All right, so float. Feel the movement within your wrists as well as your shoulders. So fingers are pointing down firstly, and then they're coming up. We've got the tap here, and we've got the step out. Here's the shift of weight firstly backwards to bring that sphere in. Feel the movement, feel the shifting of weight. Feel which muscles are contracting, which are releasing. Where's your supporting parts of your body? And where are the moving parts of your body? And how does that feel to you? Now work within your own range. So always working where you feel comfortable. Here's the shift of weight onto the back with the sphere to push away, and then resist against it. Feeling the tension within your body. Slight rotation, shut that suitcase, then lift and pull it up. Shut it down, lift and pull it up. Stepping back in, okay? And I forgot to add it in on the other end, didn't I, that first one. So go through it again one more time before we go into our stretches. I'll vary between seated and standing so you can see the alternatives. Here's your first movement. In our seated position, we've got that lift onto our toes, and as we come back in, keep the one foot lifted. We step out, lean back, push the sphere away, shifting the weight, and feel that movement within your trunk as you shift the weight. Now we step back in, we turn to the other side and we push the suitcase down, and then we pull it up, pushing down and pulling up. Back into our starting position. Controlled movements of those hands, utilising our support if we need it, the tap of the foot and the step out, the sphere coming onto the back foot, pushing away and then resisting against it. If you need to utilise your support, then the one hand, stepping back in, the other way around to push that suitcase down and then lift up, push down and lift up. So that slight rotation through our trunk. Hold it there, have a pause. That's our movement with the extra bit added on. So you might want to have a look at that afterwards. Pause, have a look at it, have a go at it, adding that extra bit on. The movement is changing from side to side. So when you finish with pushing here, your suitcase is going to be over on this side. So we've got that rotation through our trunk. And as you know full well, we do this every day in everyday life. We're twisting to look at things, we're twisting to pick things up, and we're bending at the same time. Let's move into our stretches. So we're going to start off with our calf. Support available, take a step back, toes pointing in the same direction, the ball of the foot comes down and then we roll through onto the heels, and then bend that front knee to lean into it if you're standing is your preferred option. Straight back. In our seated position, what we're going to do is take the foot out in front. Excuse me. I'm going to ease the heel away and bring the toes in towards our shin. So we get that movement and that stretch and lengthening through the back of our calf. Now if we felt ourselves relax a little, sit taller, and in your standing position, if you felt yourself coming down into it, stand taller. Feel that lengthening of the muscle. Hold it for about 12 to 20 seconds and then release out and feel the stretch ending. Changing to the other side, whether it's in standing or seated. If you're in standing, then change to have your support on the other side if you're utilising support. Toes down firstly, heel down, I'm coming into it. Front knee no further forward, and a straight line look from the back all the way down to the heel. If you want to have a go without support, have it available, but there's your movement and you can support yourself on the front knee. Now, if you feel a little unsteady on that unsupported, but you want to give it a go, take your feet a little bit wider. So start with a wider base and come from there. Just get your feet to point in the same direction so you get that movement and that stretch into your calf. Take a pause after you've done your 2 stretches, one on each side, and let's have a look at the back of the thigh. So I'm going to show you this in seated firstly. Foot goes out again as if you were going to do your calf stretch, but relax the toes this time. Sit tall and then hinge from your hip, and this is why I want to show you it in seated first. So here's your option in seated. Can you see the hinge from the hip? The bend is happening here at my hip, it's not happening at my waist. So I'm just extending forward. Now in our standing position, that looks like this. So we take the foot forward, foot flat on the floor, stand tall firstly, and then hinge from our hip. And I've got my support here. If I want to do it without support, then there's my support option here with my leg. Put my hands onto my bent leg or onto my hips, but never onto this front leg. We don't want to put any extra pressure onto that knee joint. Holding it for 12 to 20 seconds, sorry, and if we feel it starting to ease off, we can hinge a little bit further or push the bottom a little bit way further in our standing position. Again, stand up and feel the stretch ending, and let's change to the other side. So again, in our standing, we're going to step forward, stand tall, tip from our hip and push the bottom out, supporting ourselves on this bent leg or with our external support. In our seated position, again, we've sat tall firstly before we've come forward. Feel that stretch down through the back of the thigh, and then again, raise on up, step back in and feel the stretch ending. Let's have a stretch of our inner thigh. So for this, we'll bring ourselves into a seated position, everybody. From standing to seated, feel the chair behind, lower with control, and then a hip walk into the front third of the chair. Okay? We'll turn the chair around. And into our inner thigh, what we're going to do is take the feet so the width of our shoulders, sit tall, just gently ease those knees apart, keeping the feet flat on the floor. So we're just pushing the knees out a little bit, just to give ourselves a bit of a lengthening on the inner thigh. Feel that stretch there. Again, ease out of it and release. Into our chest, we can take the hands into the small of the back. Now, seated or standing, it's exactly the same. Either palms in or palms out. You might find that a little more comfortable on your shoulders. And then the movement is to draw the shoulder blades together. If you are in seated, then exactly the same there, just hold back, or you might want to take your hands towards the back of the chair and just open up across the chest. Just lengthening through that chest to feel that stretch across there. And then one last stretch to finish off. Let's give ourselves a hug. So one hand on the top, one hand by our armpit, and bring the shoulders forward so you feel a lengthening of the muscle across the top of the back. So between your shoulder blades, with all this posture position, bringing our shoulders back and down, we put a lot of work into the muscles there. Over time, we've started to slouch a little bit, and we all of us do it. We all start to sit like this. Very rare I come across anybody who sits perfectly upright, sorry, not all right. And then change it to the other side. So give yourself that little stretch into the top there. Excellent. That feels good. That feels really nice to me. I've been working bent down all day. So it's really nice to lengthen across the top of the back there. There we go. That is our movement mission completed for today. That's our third set of movement minutes added into our rucksack. Let me know how you got on. Give me some comments if you want to. You don't have to. I'm not sure my comments are working on my phone, so I didn't get a chance to say hello to everybody. I'll try and catch up with all of you afterwards. Have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Now, tomorrow you've got Bex on lunchtime, Bex on breakfast, Kelsey on lunchtime, and I'll be back with you at 4 o'clock. Try and crowbar in some additional movement into your day as well from here on in. So think about whether it's circulation booster or mobilization, or some of those three-dimensional movements as you move on through the rest of the afternoon. Excuse me. Have a great evening, everybody, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.